And welcome. I'm Uncle Snaff. And today we're going to get into something a little bit different. We're going to talk about cleaning. We're going to talk about cleaning our locks. So let's get into this is some old school stuff. This goes back. I've been building high-end bikes for a really long time. And a buddy of mine got me into building bikes eons ago, and we were building some really good high-end bikes, good expensive stuff. One of the things was small parts cleaning. When you're talking about some of these really fine bikes and whatnot, we're talking about using, in the old days, they were ball bearing sets. They'd get dirty. You'd have to inspect them, clean them, all that kind of stuff. There was things you had to do, and you can't conventionally clean, a miniaturized ball bearing. Sticking a ball bearing onto a rag and trying to clean it's physically impossible. It's not going to happen. So how do you clean that? You got to find something to clean that with, right? Well, good old standard isopropyl brand name. Let's get rid of that. But good old isopropyl alcohol, rubbing alcohol. All right. Great job. It's a great cleaner. It really is. It's very good at what it does, and that kind of thing. So I have some Sparrows practice locks, all right? If you're familiar with these, this is the progressive set. So you got the 2, the 3 has already been disassembled, 4, 5. It's just how many pins, 2 pins, 3 pins, 4 pins, 5 pins. Allows you to progressively pick the lock in practice. So I wanted to go ahead and do a couple things. First of all, one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to upgrade my pins. So I wanted to upgrade. I got the Sparrows 3-pin set, so it's got your mushrooms, it's got the serrated, it's got the oh good lord, now my brain's gone dead. It's got all the pins, all right, now that my brain does remember how to say things. But yeah, so we got to do some cleaning though, because this is a Asian manufactured lock. I've bought them new, and I literally, I've never cleaned them or whatnot. I'm sure it's got a little machine oil, because what has happened over time is that these things aren't perfectly machined. They're not spectacular. They're not a bad lock. It's a great practice lock, but it's not perfect. It's not that perfect world. But what happens is the pins getting gunked up, and they're sitting up in position, and they're staying stuck. And so it's giving me problems picking. So we need to clean these out just so I can use this for practice. And so not only am I going to upgrade my pins, but I want to make sure that this is good and clean and that kind of thing. And I want to clean the old pins. So instead of going through all of the hassle of disassembling a lock, I'm going to save us some time so this isn't a stupid, crazy long video. But basically, I've already got one disassembled. Number 3 was sticking on me. So we're going to clean this one out. And it's actually a really simple process, all right? This, like I said, it's just like cleaning the old bearings back in the old days. First things first, with rubbing alcohol is a wonderful solvent. It's a lot like water in its characteristics, with one advantage: is it evaporates very quickly. So because it evaporates so quickly, it works very well. But it will take out light grease and oil and all that kind of stuff, and rubbing alcohol is actually a great product for that. That's why it's such a great solvent. So there's a couple things we're going to do. We're going to take a regular Q-tip. One of the things we're going to do is we are going to pull the fur or the fuzz off of one of the ends and leave it ever so slightly fuzzed, all right? That should be about the size for a standard pin. Now, if you're using a mini KIK or something like that, yeah, that's not going to work. But a standard size pin, it's not a problem. This is more than ample in size. Really, what you're going to end up wanting to do is you're going to want to be able to put this into one of the holes and then clean out one of the holes. So all we have to do is this. If you have a small container, medicine bottle, something like that, that works absolutely wonderful. Now, do be careful with rubbing alcohol around different types of plastics. This plastic seems to be all right, but over time, rubbing alcohol can break down certain plastics and that kind of thing. So you don't want to spend too much time with rubbing alcohol on them, that kind of thing. But go ahead and dip the end, and you're going to go ahead and just clean out the holes. physically just get in there. Look, you can see how much dirt. Let me see if I can get this to focus up. Just that one little pass pulled out all that dirt. All right. So let's get into the second one here. We can get in here a little bit more. Oh, look at that. Yep, a lot more stuff. And more stuff. And more stuff. Look at that. We're getting all kinds of dirt and stuff out of there. So that's actually some of the stuff that's gooking up these pins. So we'll give it a little second dip. All right. And we'll do these one more time. And I know I've only got a 3-pin lock, but I want to clean them all out. If I ever want to, you know, go up to a 5-pin and really have some stupid fun, I can do all that. But good. Now I've got this all cleaned out. Now, that covers for those holes. What about the holes inside the body of the lock? We want to get that stuff up in there. It's kind of difficult to see. I have to see if I can get some better light on here. Or maybe I can get this light up in here. There we go. I don't know if you'll be able to see that any better, but we have to be able to get into those holes. How do we do that? Well, it's actually a really simple trick. Take that exact same stick, all right, and if you just make a very small 90-degree bend in the stick, now you can do the exact same thing I was doing with the other ones. Stick it in the hole, swirl it around, get the gunk out. Same thing here, swirl it around, get the gunk out. Swirl it around, get the gunk out. And look at that. You see all that stuff that just came out of that? Ooh, nappy. All right. The reason why this works so well is because it evaporates quickly, so it doesn't sit down into the lock. It's not going to stay there. It's going to evaporate off, and it cleans the gook and the grease and whatever it is. Now, this is a lock. This shouldn't have grease in it. You know, unfortunately, and some of these, ooh, that was a dirty one, all right? That one had all kinds of dirt in it, all right? Unfortunately, when you're talking about lock manufacturers from Asian origin countries, they don't always go through all the necessary stuff to clean out lubricants and that kind of thing from cutting and drilling and all that kind of stuff. It's just part of the process, all right? It happens. It's not a big deal. But a little bit of cleaning will do the job. You probably won't have to do this with most American locks and whatnot. Most American locks, this would never have to be done. But here we go. Brand spanking new lock for the most part. It's only a few months old. I've picked it probably 2 or 3 dozen times, all right? Look at all that stuff that just came out of it, all right? Dirty, 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 dirty. Other thing is, too, is brass. Brass is a soft metal. Brass will pick up dirt. Look at that. You see that? That's a lot of stuff that came out of that. So, again, that's what we're talking about when we're talking about getting these things clean. Same thing with the actual lock itself, or with the, oh, good Lord, my brain is really dead today. But with the barrel, we want to go ahead and clean this up. Same kind of thing. Get it nice and cleaned up, and it's good. All right? Very simple. Now, let's get into these little guys. This is where this comes out real handy. All right? If we take all these pins, I'm not going to use those pins there. Those are the new ones going in. All right? But let's just say, look, you can see they're sticking to the things here because they got gook on them. All right, there we go. All we got to do is this. Take another Q-tip. All right, I've just cleaned a little bit with this one. Put it in here and then literally mix it around and just clean it up. Mix it around, clean it up, spend some time. If you have the ability to, and you want to close the lid and give it a little shaky shake and make a song and do a conga line and that kind of thing, hey, knock your socks off. But all you're doing is you're just getting that machine grease and all that stuff off of those pins. You're going to get those pins. And because this is alcohol, it's going to dry out really quick. Let me set this over there so I don't get alcohol all over my pad. There we go. Now, here's the cool part. Take yourself a little rag, all right? I say a little, but it's actually a pretty good size rag. And I'm just going to drop these pins right here just so it will pick up any of the residual alcohol there. Here we go. I should have, oops. Come on, get in there. There we go. That's everybody. We can go ahead and close that up so I don't have a spill like I did yesterday. All right. And we'll give those a little bit of a pat dry there just to get them dry. And then basically we're going to just put them right back over here. And now I got to figure out, you know, my stacking order and whatnot. It's no big deal. That's not a big problem here. But all that being said, I now have very nice, very clean, and let's get one here so you can see it. Very clean pins, all right, with no grease, no gook, no nothing on them. They'll work perfectly in the mechanism. Won't give me any problems. And like I said, this is an old trick from way back when, from fixing bicycles and whatnot. It's not because I knew how to do this because of locks and that kind of stuff. It literally comes from times from long ago. But when you're dealing with small parts and stuff like that, man, cleaning this stuff up can be important depending on where you get them from. Like I said, I really like these Sparrow practice locks. These are really cool, but it's not perfect. They're just not a perfect world. So to make them a little bit better, we got to get them cleaned up some. All right. That being said, and I've got all the full set. I've got the cutaways. I've got the all of them. I got the whole 9 yards, and I love them. And I have fun because I can just practice in one lock after another. And then, like right now, I want to put spool pins on them. And I'm going to, you know, put some different securities. I'm going to do some spools, serrated mushroom pins. I'm going to kind of mix it up so I can get some more practice doing different types of practice with it. And cool, upgrade the locks and have some fun. So that is a quick tutorial on just cleaning up these pins and that kind of stuff. And you might have like an old lock that you're going to use for practicing and whatnot, and it might have been a lock that's been outside. Of course, everybody's probably sprayed about a ton of WD-40 in them, all that kind of stuff. They're all gummed up, and you want to clean them up, get them back up to shape to where you can work with them and practice with them. That's how you do it. All right, I'm Uncle Snaff. I am getting out of here, but just another little thing. Like I said, I'm probably never going to show you on a great deal on how to pick a lock because these old hands just don't do the job no more. But I still have fun, and I'm getting through this. I'm actually really enjoying this hobby. So you guys have a great day. I'm Uncle Snaff. I'm getting out of here, and enjoy.